Assalamu alaikum. In this lecture we will learn about the O-level biology past paper, paper number 12, June 2023. So let's start. How permeable are the cell wall and cell membrane in the plant cell? As we all know that cell wall can allow all the materials to pass through it, but the cell membrane is semi-permeable or partially permeable. So we can say that option B here is the right answer. The diagram shows an arthropod, and using the key, what correctly identifies the arthropod in the picture? It has wings. It does not have wings. It has wings, right? And it has two body parts. No, it has more than two body parts, and it has 6 legs. Yes. So option C here is the right answer. Which statements about the diffusion are correct? Molecules move from a higher to a lower concentration. Yes. Whenever we will make a concentration gradient, then molecules will always move from the higher to the lower concentration easily. Only occurs within the living organisms. No, they can also occur in the non-living substances as well. Whenever we will establish an experiment and will build a semi-permeable membrane, and at the one side there will be the high concentration of a particular solution, and on the other side there will be the lower concentration, so diffusion can happen there as well. Rate slows down as the temperature increases. It is not related to the temperature change. So option B here is the right answer. Some ways in which the molecules may move into and out of the cells, and these ways are listed here. So let's read them and check which one is correct here. Molecules move from a higher concentration to lower concentration. It means that the diffusion is occurring here. Molecules move from a lower to the higher concentration means it is the active transport process. And molecules move from the higher concentration to the lower concentration across a partially permeable membrane. It can be osmosis. So which statement is correct? We have to find out the correct statement here. One describes osmosis, not. It describes the diffusion. Two describes osmosis. It describes active transport. One describes active transport. It describes the diffusion. So 2 describes active transport, yes, and 3 describes osmosis. So option D here is the right answer. 4 tests were carried out on a solution containing the biological molecules. The table shows the result of the test. When the biunit test is performed, then it gives the purple color. It means that the proteins are present. Benedict test, it will give the blue color. The blue color of the solution will not change. It means that sugars are absent here. So which conclusion can be drawn? It means that the solution does not contain glucose, but it has proteins. So option A here is the right one. The graph shows the concentration of the maltose produced when the amylase digests the starch at the different pH values. Whenever the pH will change, then it will change the enzyme itself, because enzyme is dependent upon the pH. And when the pH will increase, then it will change the active site of the enzyme. So it will be harder for the enzyme to get bind to the substrate and degrade it. So we have to pinpoint the particular process which is occurring at between the point X and Y. At that particular point, pH is increasing and the concentration of maltose is decreasing. So we can say that the enzyme is denatured, or we can say that enzyme's active site is changed and it is not no more available to the starch, so that the process can be performed. So option C here is the right answer. The diagram shows a section through the part of a leaf from a dicotyledonous plant. Which cells carry out photosynthesis? Among these cells, the cells which contain the chlorophyll, obviously only these can perform the photosynthesis. These are the cells of cell membrane, and 2, 3 and 4 are that particular cells. These are the mesophyll cells, and they contain chlorophyll, and the 5 is some other one. So we can say that 2, 3 and 4 are that particular cells in which the photosynthesis can occur. Which row shows why plants need magnesium ions and the nitrate ions? Plants need magnesium ion for the sake of chlorophyll because magnesium are the main component of the chlorophyll. And nitrate ions are required for the synthesis of the amino acids. So option D here is the right one. Root hairs take in the water and ions from the soil. Which table shows the correct concentration of the water and ions in the root hairs? Obviously, the water concentration in the soil will be higher than that of the root because root is just take up the water and move it forward towards the plant. And in the case of the ions, the higher concentration of the ions will be present in the root hairs because they are not moved in the much higher amount towards the plant. When we will compare it with that of the soil, so we can say that the root hairs have higher concentration of ions. So option A here is the right one. A herbaceous plant growing in a nutrient solution is placed in a well-lit container. Humid air is passed through the container. The diagram shows the sections from the part of the leaf. Here we can see the two cells, two vessels means, and as we can say that the tissue R is the phloem and the tissue S is that of xylem. So whenever the humid air is replaced with the dry air, then the speed of the movement of the fluids in the tissue R and the S will be measured. And how the dry air affects the speed of these fluids? What will be the effect? So as the phloem vessels are not involved in the transport of the water, so whether the air is dry or the humid around them, it doesn't matter. They will only a little bit change. And as the xylem is concerned, they will show the change, and whenever the dry environment will be around, so the rate of the movement of the water towards the plant will be enhanced. So option D here is the right answer.